Hey guys, just so that you're aware, we recorded these top 10 countdowns before Spectacular was released, so our countdowns do not take into account the events of Spectacular. If you would like to see our reaction to Spectacular, you can watch our 3-part Spectacular reaction on our YouTube page. You can also, if you want to hear our in-depth thoughts about Spectacular and what our favorite moments were, you can check out our Spectacular 2 Reactors Summit that is now online on our YouTube channel. And of course, if you're enjoying this on Facebook, go to our channel, Take 3 Productions, on YouTube and hit subscribe and hit the little bell next to it so you're notified of future uploads that we do. Any like and comment helps, so make sure you go to the video, like, comment, and show your support, because we love your support, guys, and it's fantastic. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoy these countdowns. These countdowns were fun to record and even funner to edit and make graphics for. And of course, if you have top 10 lists of your own, which I know you do, make sure you comment them down below. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoy. Now let's enjoy ourselves. Let's see some good old-fashioned Schmoedown countdown action, and let's rock this sucker. Hey guys, welcome to our second very special Reactors Schmoedown Summit here on Take 3 Productions. We are doing our top 10 series here in Take 3 for the month of January. This is exciting. Now, note that this list has been completed and this video is being recorded before the release of Spectacular 2017. So no moments from Spectacular are on this list. We will be discussing our moments with Spectacular in the actual special Spectacular Summit, which was released before this. So breaking the fourth wall. If you watched our last one, you know the drill. We're gonna go through 3's, our 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and 2, runners up, and our number 1. Are you guys ready to do this and rock this sucker?
Hell yeah.
Okay, let's bring up some energy here in the boys, and we are going to get started. Yeah! Woo! 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 Party! And I'm gonna put some confetti right here, if I remember to. Anyway, guys, we are going to start with our numbers 10, 9, and 8 of our favorite moments in the movie Trivia Schmoedown. I am going to start with one of our great friends and editor, and he's an amazing man with a lot of talent and a lot of charisma, Mr. Oh, look at him, look at it's Abraham Flores. Abraham, give us your 10, your 9, and your 8.
You really love me.
Okay, my number 10. I predict this moment on May when he defeated William Viviani. It's Christian becomes a champion. I love when Christian does it because he has the potential. He has always had it, and he got it from Moro. I mean, probably not the best match of all time, to be honest. Really low scoring, but I was happy to see him grabbing that belt. Like, he didn't want it, but he had it, and he was happy with it. That's why it's my number 10. Number 9. When this little piece of music,
wait,
I got free throw. Like, oh my god! Oh, that's a good one.
That's a great moment.
That's awesome.
And I was like, I thought it was JT, to be honest. Like, I said, why that song? But it was Dagnino. He came out with Real News t-shirt on, and it was crazy. Number 8. Another moment with this great guy called Tom Dagnino. It's been Draco. When you see Mark and Draco giving his back to the camera, and then you see Tom coming out, you say, oh, who isn't that? Who's wearing that mask? And boom, Mark and Draco. Then Makua wins the match, and we know, and that moment sets up what Dagnino is going to do the whole season. Surprise us. Number 8.
Amazing choices, and giving it right out of the gate with the good old Christian winning the belt. That's an amazing start. Thank you so much, Abe. I'm gonna go over to Manning. Manning, what are your 10, your 9, and your 8er?
Ooh, my 10, my 9, and my 8er. Well, my 10 right now is something I know you appreciate a lot, but I feel like it's still a moment I look back on and I'm just kind of like, wow, I can't believe that happened. Is when Bibiani broke the new points record for the first time. And we realized there are people out there outside just Dan and Roka and who can come in here and just get points, or Riley or whomever. People outside the Schmoedown started to expand. We started getting new people, and Bibbs came in there and he just wrecked shop. But even Draco, he did amazing as well too. This was a fierce match, and seeing Bibiani make that new record without even breaking a sweat is still something that's amazing to behold.
That final score was like 43 points combined, right?
Yeah, and it was a record holder for
23.
And it stayed that record holder for a very long time.
Yes. Yeah, he has the privilege of having that record. Number 9 is one that we're going to be a little controversial because it was not in the Schmoedown, but it is Schmoedown related. It is number 9, The Decision. The Decision itself was Schmoedown related, and it is the one that basically sparked the Schmoedown that we know and love and watch, I guess, twice a week now, because it is what spurred the teams on, is what gave us the Wolves of Steel, what gave us the reigning Patriots, is what really solidified us as, a legit place. It is the Schmoedown where you go for trivia, and The Decision was so. I remember watching that Schmoes Know night, just having my nails, just biting my nails and hugging my seat because I was so excited to see what was happening. And then it took places, I guess, like The Last Jedi, it subverted expectations. So really enjoyed that. So bringing it back, guys. And then finally, I guess it's also my number 8 as well. It's the Finn Draco moment. That is surprising. We both have it at 8. But having that, I guess Abe said most of it was an utter shock, but it was a lot of fun. And then in the end, seeing Makuga win, that was just an absolutely ridiculously fun match. And then having Finn Draco, just coming out of nowhere and having us all kind of do a double take is a moment I'm not going to forget.
That's one of the most memorable theatrics that the Schmoedown has ever had. Indeed. Matt, let's hear your 10, your 9, and your 8.
All right, so at number 10, I have a moment that I feel like if this might hop up on the list, but right now at number 10, it's Ken Knapsack joins Lion's Den. You guys saw my reaction to this moment. It blew my mind. I never would have thought it was going to happen. This is what I love with the Schmoedown. We got Tom.
I saw this live.
Tricky guy. I know.
That hurt.
This was just an amazing moment. The stuff I love about the Schmoedown, these storylines that can just come out of left field, and I just can't wait to see what comes from it. At number 9, I have Mark Riley comes out as James Bond, not Superman Spectacular. This was a great moment. This was unexpected. You hear the Superman theme, and then you get the record scratch, and then you get the Bond theme. And then he comes out wearing the suit, looking all cool. Awesome moment. I would actually love to do James Bond again sometime. Now number 8, being the all-original guy I am Finstock. It's Finn Draco.
Again.
No one would have.
Wow. Straight 8s. Yes, it's true.
No one would have expected this moment. I remember watching. Finstock comes out. He has his back to the camera, and then you have Tom Dagnino. It's like, what? And then we see his Mark and Draco, and just Tom's whole spiel. This is when Tom Dagnino, as we know him, was born. Just the whole thing of, you challenge Finstock. I'm Tom Dagnino. Anyone who puts on the mask is Finstock. You ordered a pizza wearing the mask. Finstock pizza. Just an amazing moment.
We are Finstock.
We are Finstock. This is the stuff I love. Schmoedown.
Chris Doman, what are your 10, your 9, and your 8?
Okay,
I hope your 8 is the same.
I was going to say, spoiler alert, sadly, it's not.
That would have been crazy.
That would have been amazing. My number 10 is Kia's freak out during the Glowdown when Brianne Chandler just goes for the 2-pointer and completely blanks on the right answer and allows Clark's team to steal. during the glow down, which by the way, that match was just fan-freaking-tastic.
That's still my favorite celebrity match.
It's my second favorite, but just by that much. But her freaking out and still carrying over to the post-match interview. Ah, God, she committed, and I have to commend that. So, I really love that moment, and it's always awesome to see people outside of this group, you know, and get their reaction, and get them involved to that level like she did, and it was amazing. My number 9, I betray you.
Oh, so close to making it.
When Bibbs left the Horsemen, I freaked out. I'm like, oh my God, no! And then it's like, oh my God, Ricky, no, because there was so much buildup to who was Ricky talking to, and nobody would have predicted it would have been Bibbs. But fuck, it was good. It was shocking. Like I actually felt kind of bad. I'm like, oh no. Now because here's the thing. When Bibbs was part of the Horsemen, I cared about him a lot more. Now I don't care about him as much because he betrayed them. He betrayed Roka. My number, but it was still an amazing moment nonetheless. My number 8 is McWeenie and JTE in sudden death. Just that whole round. Oh my God! Fantastic. They went like 6 rounds in sudden death, and I'm like, please, McWeenie, just get it, just win it, please. If you have to, if you couldn't pull out 5 winner, please win it now.
Wow.
But the tensity and the tension and just literally being on the edge of my seat the whole time, I'm like, oh God, come on, man. You have to pull through. You have to pull through. And sadly, he didn't, and went to JTE, who went on to the finals. But it was still an incredible just round there nonetheless. So, yeah, JTE McWeenie, sudden death.
As I said in our last countdown, Drew didn't actually lose that match. JT won, but neither of them lost. That entire sudden death portion of that match is very, very fantastic. And if Drew had to go, that was one hell of a way to do it. For me, my 10 is actually I Betray You, when Bibbs actually betrayed the Horsemen. This was the beginning of the awkwardness where supporting both Bibbs and R&B became really, really awkward. This is when Bibbs split off first, and we'll get to the other one a little bit later. But, you know, this is what I can't say anything that Chris hasn't said. This was also one of the best exit interviews ever, period. And it was really, 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 really satisfying to hear just Bibbs give another catchphrase other than his hashtag growl growl. And it's stuck with him ever since. You can't deny that. My number 9 is when Roka won the belt. This is my number 9. Roka winning the belt. When he won the belt, and his face when he won that belt from Merle cannot be quenched. He was after that belt since the Bespin incident. And he won it, and his whole character arc came to a great close. And then he kind of lost it again, but in this 2 weeks he's had the belt, it was so satisfying just to see him have that belt and enjoy it. And we all remember in the Schmoes Know episode, he came out with the 3 belts on top because he was the champ. I just felt so great for John when that happened. And then my number 8 is, I alluded to that Betray You was one of the best exit interviews. My number 8 is Really Fuck Me with Robert Meyer Burnett. One of the greatest lines ever uttered in an exit interview. Check out this clip and try not to laugh.
I don't know who C-Lob is? Really? Fuck me!
Yep, I knew it. I knew it. You laughed your ass off and you peed yourself. You are a great audience. Alright guys, we are going to go into R7, R6, and R5. And I'm actually going to go to eeny, meeny, miny, Matt. Matthew Kearns. Matthew Kearns. What is your 7, your 6, and your 5?
That was so
hell of a way to choose. All right. So at number 7, I have what is one of my favorite post-match arenas, which is Team Action lose it after the Nerds Watch match. You've seen this match, you know, this is the closest Team Action ever got to being a face. Come out, you know, they got their nice glasses, you know, sweaters, they bring their moms out, they're all, you know, they're like, hey, Ken Reach, really good job. And then they lose the match, and then they're in the post-match arena, they whisper, and they just, oh, come on, did you see that? This is why I love Team Action. Like, you know, is that Scotch? Come here, bring that here. Did you see that action category? These guys are some of the best heels we have. This moment just shows why. At number 6, I have Mark Riley's entrance match against Dan Murrell. This is, as of right now, it probably is my favorite Mark Riley entrance. Everything about this, the anticipation I had for this match, and just you hear, this was the first time we ever heard the Superman theme from Mark. He had the belt, he came out to the roar of the crowd, pulled and showed the double Superman, the sunglass. It was just awesome. This is a moment I just love to watch over and over again. Speaking of a moment I like to watch over again, at number 5, I have Sam Witwer calls out John Campea. I talked about him, yes, in the last video. Sam Witwer is one of my favorite competitors. He's one of the best. Like, he is scary, and just the moment I love in this is when, you know, Josh McCook is like, who do you want? He's just like, Campea. Do you hear me, Campea? Are you listening to me? Because it's happening. It is amazing. It's one of the best call-outs, maybe the best call-out we've ever had in the Schmoedown. That's my 7 to 5.
Beautiful, 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 Matt. And I'm going to go back to the person who started this video, Abraham Flores. Abe, you. I'm talking to you, Abe. I want to know what your 7, your 6, and your 5 are. Don't blush.
Okay. Number 7. When Riley becomes champion a second time, you can see him on his face, like when Christian is about to say, and you're a winner. Mark, and Riley jumps out of his seat and runs and hugs Clark, and he celebrates and grabs the belt, and everything happens in a moment. It's a great moment of the Schmoedown. Like, it's just a happy moment for me. That's number 7. Number 6, another person becoming champion, Roca. As Clark said it before, like, you felt good for him because it was the end of the path he started on April of 2016 when his first match against Mans happened, and it was great seeing him. He was actually gonna cry. I think he cried after that. I don't know. They caught it. Okay, and number 5, it's the formation of the Lions Den, of the 4 Horsemen.
Oh, okay.
And when they meet against the Lions Den at the Spectacular, in that room where you hear a lot of great quotes.
I'm putting my arms up.
Yeah, my favorite part
You're just a
of that
fluke,
is,
baby. You're just a fluke. Now you're going to fight the Duke.
Yeah, all of that, but my favorite one is from Robert, that he says, I'm pestilence, I'm the disease that will wipe these people from the face of the earth, and I don't know what else, I don't remember.
What are you talking about, Burnett? Didn't we beat you already?
Yeah. That's a great moment.
I'm an individual now.
That has joined a team that cannot be destroyed. We are
Apparently.
physical. That's my number 5.
That's improvisation to the max, and it's fantastic. It was like an episode of Whose Line Is It Anyway? I'm gonna go. Yeah,
That's a great comparison.
I'm gonna go to Chris Doman. What is your 7, your 6, and your 5, brother?
My number 7 is your number 8, Clark. It's one of my favorite sound bites ever.
Yep.
I don't know who Shelob is. Really? Fuck me. Seriously, I'm so in love with this quote. I used it as a sound bite. That's how much I love this quote. It means that much to me. And it was that great of a moment of just genuine frustration at losing a match. But yeah, it was pretty well earned because look, you know, dear old Robbie, he gave it his all, but you know, and with Roca kind of, you know, having his own little freak out with his just like everything he says times 1,000. I don't know what the hell's going on. What was also great about that moment was the first time of a Schmoedown competitor calling out the fans and hearing Robert Meyer Burnett call out Tim Franco. Literally, I remember myself, Kearns, Jacob, and Case. We were all just like, "Whoa, is this happening right now? What?" My number 6. You see this shirt? Yeah, it's that's Operation Dumbo Drop. Yeah, see, you're Dumbo, and I have to drop you. Finstock breaks up with Makuga. It's come on, like these two were the closest of brothers, and then because of a lust for power, Finstock drops him like that. How could he destroy such beautiful friendship? Because he's a mad idiot who runs around in a beard mask. But my number 5, X, 5, X. You have 5 of the best Schmoedown competitors on one table at one time. And literally, it's a 2008 shitstorm with Scarlett Johansson and Samuel L. Jackson that knocks 4 of them out. And the only reason that 4 happened to come out was because your boy, Bibbs, happened to get it right. And that's one of our most watched moments in Take 3 history. It's one of my most watched moments in Schmoedown history. It's and Draco doing the impossible. But he did it.
Number 7. My heart broke. Kin turns to the dark side. Well, Lions joins the Lions Den, but the dark side. Let's be honest. Yeah. When he walks out with the Sith music playing, and the hood comes down, and he's dressed all nice, and then he just like, and you hear the crowd erupt in terror and like shock, and it's just like, no, how could you do this? And then later it's confirmed with that. Later, it's confirmed with that Nerds Watch v. Blofeld's cat, and my heart broke. If you saw our reaction, my heart broke. I wanted to stop. I was like, you know what? I can't. With finals going on here, I can't anymore. It's just, I wanted to stop. I wanted to stop the Schmoedown because my favorite competitor had betrayed his own people. The people. And I was not happy about that. But anyway, that's the Schmoedown for you. It'll get your emotions moving. And number 6 is actually another shocking event, and that is, say with me, guys, what was the name? 3 of the planets in The Empire Strikes Back. What was that? Dagobah, Hoth, and
Bespin, baby.
Bespin. Yeah. Bespin was the moment because this solidified Roka's thirst for blood to get that belt. He wanted to take all the records. He wanted to take all the belts after that. And that was spurred one of my favorite competitors, if not my favorite competitor, to get what he needed to. And yeah, it was a big blunder considering he was he was hosting Jedi Alliance at that time. So, but he, at the end of the day, he overcame just being called Bespin. And then number 5, finally, it's similar to what Kearns had, but as team action having their face turned in total, coming out with their moms and being super nice and polite. And I was like, these are the same guys from the last match? And then they finally came around at the very end, and it's like, oh, nope, they're the same old jerks. We knew them, and we love them for that. We love them for that. They are still, to me, my favorite heels in the league. Yes, more than the Patriots. I love to root against them, because they're that great of guys. But anyway, that is my 5, 6, and 7.
Beautiful, Manning. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. For my 5, well, actually my 7. My 7, sorry, I'm the host and I'm really effing this up. For my 7 is actually, it was alluded to by actually Abe himself, the 4 horsemen forming at Spectacular, and that whole improvisational scene at the end after the credits was hilarious. It is the best example in the Schmoedown of improvisation. These cutscenes that you see, I don't know how much is actually scripted out. I don't know. They always come off as they're really improvised and everybody's about to break, and it's amazing. And this is the best example of that. And even the really fuck me, you could really tell that Roka was about to break. Whenever you have that in the Schmoedown, it's just always great to watch. At number 6, I have actually Schnepp. Breaks off of Heroes with Robert and replaces him with Hector. That after credit scene of, I think it was It was either critically acclaimed versus Only Stupid Answers. I think that's what the after credit. It was the after credit scene of a Bibs match. I just remember that vividly. And it was Rob basically gets fired from Heroes by Schnepp, and Rob is questioning Schnepp over and over and over again who his new partner is. And when he says, "Is it Navarro?" Schnepp has this pause, and he smiles to the camera, and all he says is, That's again a great example of great improvisation, because I can tell they were both just about to burst out laughing during that scene. And then at number 5 is actually, it is where Robert Meyer Burnett joins the Lion's Den. Rob joining this Lion's Den wasn't just the fact that, oh my gosh, now Rob and Bibbs are on two separate factions, it's going to be awkward. The theatrics and the improvisation and the banter during this entire thing where Robert's like, I want to win! I want to... Whatever he was saying. He rocked it when he was doing that. He probably broke the table. They probably had to replace the table. It was amazing. It was glorious. It was fun.
I need to give everybody a little context, because you did show a reaction of just the moment, and literally, this was Clark's reaction. Fuck! I'm now a Lions Den fan! No!
I forgot about that.
Dude, I've never forgotten that. I'm never going to
Insert
forget.
that clip, find it and insert it.
I'm just going to insert that. I forgot about that.
Anyone! Wait.
No! No! I refuse!
No!
This is not happening!
Wait a minute.
I am now a Lions Den fan? Fuck! Now we are going to go through our 4s, our 3s, and our 2s of our list. We're getting to the final home base here, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to start with Chris Doman. Chris, who are your 4, your 3, and your 2, my man?
My number 4 is Sam Witwer winning on Captain Nita from the Star Wars Fatal 5-Way. Look, as somebody who watched the original match and thought he got screwed when he got asked the how does Luke address the Emperor? Sorry, that was still a BS question. Although I talked to Sklisky about it, we're cool. But then, and again, the fact that he lost on Captain Nita at Celebration, but this time he has redemption, and to see it live just filled me up with so much excitement. Like, I was gonna, take a picture and whatnot, and, shoot a crap time video and stuff, but I couldn't. I was too busy cheering. I was too busy just smiling and wooing at the top of my lungs and just being an all-around great fan. Great guy, by the way. Love talking both Star Wars and Star Trek with him. But that's just a personal fanboy moment for me. My number 3 is The Decision. Why? One single half-hour portion of a live show could not possibly had a bigger impact on the Schmoedown moving forward, because you had the short-lived but important Mega Powers, which eventually, like I said, the origin of Tom Dagnino as we know him right now. You had the Patriots, who are the current champions. And then you had the Wolves of Steel, who have gone on to have one hell of a legacy in the Schmoedown. But sadly, not necessarily the longest lasting. Sorry, Kearns. But this one half-hour segment meant so much. Now, some context for my number 2 here. This would have been my number 1. If my number 1 hadn't happened, this would have been my number 1. It's the third planet in The Empire Strikes Back. Because why? When I think of the Schmoedown, this is what I go to every single time. I think of one of the most high stakes matches at that exact moment in time. I think of what John Rocca must have been going through in his head at that exact moment. and just not being able to pull it through. But to be fair, this moment, this one single moment, is what actually got me into the Schmoedown. Because sure, Campy and Merle, good match, good smack talk, fun time. This match and this moment is what made me such a huge fan. It's what attributed to me doing this. You take away Bespin, you take away Take 3 Productions. So, Roka, I'm sorry you didn't get the question, and I am beyond sorry for the ball bags who have attacked you mercilessly since that. But thank you for fucking up.
Yeah, because I would actually argue that that's the greatest fuck up in Schmoedown history. Because without Bespin, you don't have the theatrics that you have.
You don't.
Because that's the catapult,
Where you
the catalyst.
going, Sasha?
Yep, that's the catalyst to what Roka did, and Roka in turn inspired everybody else to put in that much effort for what they do theatrically in the Schmoedown. Because remember, guys, the Schmoedown is 100% theater. It's theater. These characters are not people in real life. What is that?
It's WWE.
It's WWE. Like
Exactly.
the actual matches are real. They happen, but the actual show is theater. So
Exactly.
you just have to.
I mean, shit. Like John Roka is one of the sweetest guys to have a
Yeah.
conversation with. I had multiple chats with him while I was over there, but not once did I think he was going to be like his character, the Outlaw? No. He's a real human being, people. Get over it.
Mentioned Bespin, and he became
There's
the
a
character.
difference from when you press record on a camera. There's a big difference from when you press record on a camera. I'm gonna go.
Shit. We do the same thing.
Yeah, of course. And speaking of cameras and cinematography, I'm gonna go over to Manning Franks. Manning. What is your 4, your 3, and your 2?
Shit! That segue.
Yep.
That was good. That was
We
really
got
good.
that, Clark.
Let's just take a moment to appreciate how good that segue moment of silence. Okay, moving on. That was good. All right, number four. My fourth favorite moment is my favorite entrance of all time, and that is Rachel Cushing coming in as Galadriel in the Inner Geekdom match, because the effects, the editing behind that, as well as her commitment to the performance and just the costume itself, that is what an entrance should be. And I love a lot of entrances, but that one to me takes the cake at just being amazing. Simply amazing. Theatrical, as Clark was saying. It is beautiful theatrics, great commitment, and I just love that scene in general, so you can't go wrong with that. And number 3, I have XX5XX. No one could believe that actually happened, and it was just a couple of slips. It was basically 4-4-5-4-4. That's how close it was, and finally seeing that happen, they made shirts out of that moment, and they're pretty great shirts. I have to admit that. And finally, my number 2, I'm really sad no one else probably is going to have that, but it is the in all of Schmoedown history, one that I always laugh to this day. It broke the characters of Christian Harloff and Mark Ellis and the entire crowd. Give me that throat, boy. That is the best ad-lib line Ellis has ever done on the Schmoedown. It made everyone uncomfortable, it made them laugh, and it is by far the best. And if you want to listen to it, it is on the Bibbs and Scott Mance match that happened earlier this year. It is phenomenal. It is something I still go back to, and I still laugh at.
I thought I was forgetting something. Fuck!
All right, so at number 4, Riley knocks out JT in first title defense. This was pretty much the moment when I became a Riley fan, because after Campia vs. Merle, I went back and I watched pretty much all of the 2014 matches. I was already kind of a fan of this guy, but then seeing him defend his belt, he comes out, he gets Star Wars in round 2, and then he just knocks out JT. It's just a great moment. I mean, the soul pulled from JT's eyes when Riley hits Star Wars in round 2. So just a great moment. Then at number 3, I have a moment that Chris already brought up, but one of my favorites, the Mega Power Split. Tom Dagnino, I've said it before, he is the best singles competitor on mic. it sort of just shows why. I mean, think of all the quotable lines we get from him. You're Dumbo, and I have to drop you. Bottom line, you're a loser. Like, and just Josh McCouga's freak out when he's like, I carried this team. I'll carry this. Just everything about it is just amazing. And the best part of it all is they beat the Wengers in this match. People like to forget this wasn't they lost since they break. No, they won the match, which makes you go, how crazy is Tom? Was he planning on doing this no matter what happened? And it's just an amazing moment. And then at number 2, the reason why this moment is so high up for me is because this is this reason why I checked out the Schmoedown. It is John Campia's video message to Dan. This was the first Schmoedown thing I ever saw. And again, quotable line, just when Campia goes for the whole thing of, and I want you to bring that belt, and when you lose, I'm going to take out the old John Campia hanky, I'm going to dry those tears. That way every time you look in that belt, you see these eyes. And when it's all said and done, and you're crying to your mom, I'm just going to say 2 things. Who's next? Like, John Campia is a huge, like, wrestling fan, and this, you just see it there, and it was the thing that got me going, what is this Schmoedown thing? I need to check it out, and I'm here now, so that video is like a special place, which is why it's at number 2.
Beautiful, 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 Matt. I'm not surprised at all that a Campia thing is your number 2, because Campia actually is amazing. Love Campia to death. Yes. John is awesome. Abe, baby. What is your 4, your 3, and your 2?
Number 4 is from a movie that came out in 1980 called The Empire Strikes Back. It's Bespin. I was rooting for Max in that match, but oh my god, poor Roca, you seen his face, like, I know it, but he didn't get it, and all the shit he got after that, but he redeemed himself and went to win the title on next year. But that was an amazing moment. That what got me hooked on the Schmoedown, like, create, like, oh my god, this drama and man's yelling and everything, and it was amazing. Number 3, I think it's a moment nobody has, and I don't think it's gonna be anybody's number 1. It's from the 2015 tournament. When ETC defeats perfect, like,
great moment.
Paul stance.
Full stance. That's good. But like Christian asked, how many points did you bet? He asked to ETC, and Ricky says we bet it all both. He says high fidelity, and then they cut to white, and you see man's reaction like, oh my god, we fucked up. And then Team ETC wins the game, and everything goes crazy. That's one of my favorite moments ever. That's why I miss ETC so much. Number 2, the Patriots defeating top 10 at the Spectacular. I hate the Patriots. I do. I don't like them. They have to defeat every single team I like. They defeat Moto, they defeat top 10, and they're probably going to defeat us off the line on the Spectacular.
I don't say such things.
Yeah, but you cannot take it away from them. That's my number 2.
Yep, and as I he's about to cry.
Like
We're about to get to that. Anyway, as we said at the beginning of the show, we are recording this before Spectacular 2017, so we don't know right now if the Patriots are still the current champs or not, and if Above the Line kind of fell flat or they didn't. So we'll see. As for myself, my number 4, Bibbs getting the new record, his new points record. That Andrego versus Bibbs match was so high scoring and so on the edge of your seat, you didn't know who was going to win. At the end, Bibbs, when he won, became the points record holder for a shitload of time. I think he was the record holder for more than half this whole season.
Yeah,
He is
Okay. In a non-title match, Bibbs is still the holder.
yeah, in a non-title match,
In a
but
non-title match.
But he still held that for over half a year, title matches included, since November of 2016. So that is something you cannot take away from him. No matter how much he loses, he still has that under his belt. And my number 3 is actually Whitney's reveal of being Bibbs' new partner for Critically Acclaimed and the formation of Critically Acclaimed. Of course, this would be in my top 3. This was my favorite event the Schmoedown has ever done, which is what's happening to the Horsemen. And this was the perfect way to wrap it up in a beautiful little bow. And I finally got to see Whitney join the Schmoedown for the very first time, and it felt so good to me. And it was an amazing event. Oh my God, is this...
Wait a minute. I know Whitney.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Whitney Seibel.
He and Bibbs go way back.
Yeah, they go way back. That is the Cancel Too Soon podcast co-host,
Yes.
Whitney Seibel. I've known Whitney for a long time. He's been itching to get in the league, and here he is. What's
He
Whitney?
is the beauty to my beast.
Whitney?
My number 2 is actually XX5XX. Of course, my number 2 is XX5XX. What cannot be said that everybody who has it on their list has said? Everybody has it on their list has said that XX5XS is something that they go back to and back to and back to. I watch Free For All just to get to that moment, and it's amazing. It's just the whole build up to that point where it was basically a revolving door of the execution. You had the 4 people, and then you had the center seat, which was death. And once Indreko entered that center seat, the dominoes fell and the board was cleared. And it has its own damn t-shirt. Fantastic moment. I can't really add on what everybody else has said. But before we get to our number unos, our number 1s, we are going to go through our 2 runners up. And I'm going to start with Chris Doman. What are your 2 runners up?
Well, okay, so I feel really bad because I totally forgot to include it. That is, give me that throat, boy! That's horrible. Horrible. Maintain professionalism. Horrible.
Maintain professionalism.
Oh, God. And that saying doesn't have a dear place in our hearts here, take 3. Not at all.
Not at all.
No.
And my other one is actually going back to Mance Roca 2. Sorry. Merle Mance. When Roca is standing in Mance's corner. Because I just remember thinking to myself,
Yeah.
what? What's he
Wearing the Bespin shirt.
But wearing the Bespin shirt nonetheless. But it's like, huh? But sadly, I just don't, and yeah, I screwed the pooch because Give Me the Throat Boy should have been like my number 5 or something. But the Mance Roca moment though, it just sadly I've forgotten it a little bit as time has gone on. So it's not a moment I keep going back to. Whereas my other 10, I go back to those a lot more often.
I'm gonna move over to Abe. Abe, give me that runners up, boy.
Okay, my first runner-up, it's from a team that I love, and it's a champion right now. It's above the line, entering against networks. Why? Because the music they shows. Hotel California from The Big Lebowski, and you hear Por el camino del desierto, el viento me despeina. And I was like, oh my God, my favorite movie. And then this team that I'm so excited to watch, and then they killed it in the match, and now they are the champions, I guess. I don't know. Hopefully. But it's a great moment, and I go back just to watch that entrance. Literally, just go back to the video, watch that entrance, and I see it a lot of times. I've seen it like 20 times.
That's awesome.
No, and my other runner-up is from a team I think nobody likes, but I love. It's Moto.
Nice.
I
like
think
it.
I like Modoc.
Yeah, but nobody loves it as me.
Oh, that's true.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but when they pull, when Great Drake pulls Jeff Goldblum at the end against IGN,
Oh,
like,
yes!
you can see when Christian says cats and dogs, you can see actually his face like, oh, we're fucked. And then Greg starts laughing. I think it may be Jeff Goldblum, and then they win. That's an amazing moment.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, the Jeff Goldblum thing was hilarious, and it just put Great Drake back on the map again of memorable moments. She's an amazing competitor. Love to see her back in singles, but that's off topic.
I was about to say that was an interesting match to be on the Schmoedown Rundown to discuss. That's for sure.
Indeed. Love the Schmoedown Rundown, guys, including somebody who else has been on the Schmoedown Rundown, Mr. Matthew Kearns. What is your two runners-up?
So my two runners-up are two that were on other people's list. One of them is Sam Witwer winning on Captain Nita. Great moment. I mean, it's just that again, stuff I love about the Schmoedown, that odd coincidence that the thing that killed him in the last match is that saved him in the match. And then more Sam Witwer's reaction of like, okay, what's the real question? Like, I don't believe that is actually, and then just the no, it's real. Takes a sip of the drink, just sits back like, okay. And then the other one is the post-credit scene, I guess we'll call it, from part 1 of Spectacular. You guys talked about it. All the amazing lines. I am the disease that will wipe them from the earth. What are you talking about, Burnett? Didn't we beat you? I'm holding my arms up. I don't care if you beat Riley or not. I want you down the line. Just so many great things. I disagree. Just so many great things. I remember watching that moment over and over and over again that night when Spectacular dropped, because I just could not stop laughing. It's so good.
I think we all echo those statements indeed, Matt. Manning Franks, what are your two runners-up, my man?
My runner-up first one is also the Captain second time, when it comes full circle, and then Witwer is over there just kind of like, are you kidding me? Because I was like, this is a joke. This is a joke question. This isn't exactly the real one, right? What's the real question? And it's like, no, this is the actual question. The Schmoedown fates have had aligned, and suddenly it was just like, it's poetic. It's poetic. It's how he won that match.
Trust me, guys. As someone who was literally sitting right next to Skaliski as they were filming this match, I was looking at his laptop. I read the question. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
It's unreal. And then the other one is the now made famous Boumaye, top 10 Boumaye, is when they defeated the Schmoes in the top 10 and got the belts, and then you just had Roka and a nose there going top 10 Boumaye, top 10 Boumaye, and that became their chant, and something I've always loved, and something that just kind of became like synonymous with them just as much as the champ is here. Okay, but you get what I mean. That became synonymous with them, and I loved it.
I'm going to say my two runners-up were actually two that have actually been said, and surprisingly, one of them is Bespin. I didn't put that on my list. Hindsight is 20/20. Bespin, as we explained before, if there was no Bespin, we wouldn't have the theatrics that were in the Schmoedown itself. I think we can all agree and attest to that. And my other runner-up was actually Ken turning to the dark side. That threw me completely off guard. Like, at first, I honestly thought that was Robert. I think Matt even thought that was Robert. A lot of us thought it was, who is that in the cloak? Is that Robert? Who is that? That better not be who I think it is. And it was much, much worse. It was Ken himself. Took us all off guard. Air was blown out of our bodies, and we're like, holy shit. This just got really cool and really good, and I think it's one of the best. I think it's the only huge twist the Schmoedown has ever really had so far. I can't wait to see what they come up with next season, because if they can do more twists like this is amazing. So guys, we are going to now go through our #1 Schmoedown moments of all time so far. Here we go, Manning. I'm going to start with you. What is your #1 Schmoedown moment of all time?
It has been said before, and it probably will always be my number one favorite because there is nothing that will beat that particular moment. Because it kind of symbolizes what the Schmoedown is. It is something of just people getting together and just absolutely nerding out over movies, trying to retain as much little bit of trivia as you can, and that is Roka wins the championship. And that is his face specifically when he gives that big yes, and then his face looks down. He's like, and it really gets me a little emotional because this guy fought from Bespin all the way to greatness. You know, Bespin to destined. I think someone coined the term, and it is something of a hero's tale, or I guess a villain, hero, anti-hero. You know what I mean? It's a hero's journey going from nothing and making it to the very top, and I love that about the Schmoedown. And Roka, still my favorite competitor.
Yep, it made for great storylines. Abraham, Abe, what is your number one, my brother?
Okay, I remember this day like if it was yesterday. It was April 14, 2017. I was coming back from Walmart, and I don't remember the free-for-all was on that day. Minute 29 of the second part of the free-for-all. What happened? XX5XX. I screamed so hard that my mom came running up and said, "What happened?" Nothing. I made her cry. She thought I was dead. I don't know. But I was like, "Oh my god!" Because they have the assassins, in, like Christian called them. They had defeated Bernardin, Scarpino, and Ricky, and then Andreco. You hear the Wonder Woman music coming out, and Mark Andreco, and oh my, everything was crazy, and I love that moment, and I see it a lot of times. Like 50, I think.
XX5XX is one of those moments on the internet itself that made the internet shake for a day. I think it's now what spring is known for. XX5XX. Of course, yep. Rainy days, showers, and eliminations. Matthew Kearns, Mattstick, fan Mattstick. What is your number one? I hope that nickname wasn't bad.
You suck at transitions as well as nicknames. My number one moment, right here. You want to talk about a hero getting a belt and going on a journey? It's Mark Yodi Riley getting his belt back, but not just that. Getting his belt back from the guy who stopped him on his journey to get it the first time, stopped on his journey to get it the second time, John Roca. You guys, you can see our reaction. Me flipping out about this. What you can't see is my mom thinking I was choking on food or something at my door when I was reacting to this. I was so excited because everything in this match was working against Mark. He got opponent's choice. Didn't really listen to the speed round question when he did Sandlot, when it was Scream, which, you know, everything was working against him. And then he won it. And the celebration, he gets up and he hugs Clark and he's dancing around, and then he bows to Roca because he's a hero. And Roca walks off and then grabs that belt and holds it up, and it is a great moment. Christian Harloff tagged me on the MTS page when they made this shirt because this is just the stuff dreams are made of. This is a moment I go back to time and time again. It may be my time, but it is for sure favorite moment.
Awesome, Matt, and I think we all know how much that touched your heart indeed. Chris Doman, I think you know what I'm about to ask you, buddy. What is your number one?
And your winner, and the new Schmoedown Champion of the World, the Commissioner, Christian Harloff! Okay. Rewind back to when we did that reaction. Myself, Kristen, Case, and Jacob. Literally, I'm sitting here on the edge of my... Actually, no, I'm standing here like this. Like, oh my god, come on. My mother is standing right next to me, right here. And I hear two words. I hear one name. J.K. Simmons. Literally, I am freaking out. My mother is freaking out. And I'm sitting in the back of my seat like this. And I'm like, you son of a bitch, you did it! Because if there's anybody, and I mean anybody, who deserved the belt, it should be the guy who started this whole fucking thing. But at that moment, it was everything that, as far as my hopes and dreams, even going back to my all-time favorite match, which you guys will see later on this month.
Mm.
After that match, I knew he had to have a shot. And he finally got it, and he finally fucking won.
Now for my number one, actually, the first time I was ever on Take 3, I was on this live show in a vertical video where we counted down our top 10 favorite Schmoedown moments.
That was a great episode, though.
It was fantastic, and it was a great night, yeah. Sans my video quality, but you know what was great about that is it pissed Evan off, and that always makes me happy. Anyway, my number one is actually, and I explained this in that video, but it's never changed, and it's probably never gonna change, and it's probably not gonna surprise anybody here, is when Rob won the belt for Inner Geekdom and became the champion. That felt so satisfying when I saw it, because as you guys know, Rob Meyer Burnett is actually one of my huge influences in actually filmmaking itself. Free Enterprise had a lot, touched my life and touched my dad's life, was a lot of my childhood. I love Free Enterprise. And Rob is my idol, one of my idols. And him winning the belt was fantastic for me. It was so gratifying to me. And as I've explained in the past, I like to pretend that the Inner Geekdom matches that happened this year never happened, and that he is currently the current champ. It sucks. It really sucks. It sucks that he lost it almost immediately. You can say immediately, I don't care, but he lost it almost pretty much immediately. But when he had the belt, and his joy in his face when he had the belt was glorious. That was back when he was with Schnepp in the Schmoedown, and Schnepp came and held the belt up with him. It was a great moment, and of course after that he was inducted into the Four Horsemen and history was made. So yeah, that is my number one. This has been our top 10 Schmoedown moments.
I can't believe that 4 out of 5 of our moments have to do with winning a belt.
Yeah,
it does.
Crazy.
And actually,
well, to be fair, that's kind of the fandom of this show, is that when you have someone you're attached to, and you see them succeed to the point where they can go for a belt, and you see them actually win the belt, that's
exactly. Those are the moments we look forward to for as much as we love, like we talked about, all the funny little moments. Seeing people that we on in matches to have the symbolism of that belt over their shoulder being like, that proves that they were rooting for, in a way. That makes sense. Not to say that you should only winners, but I mean, like, there's just, you know, like,
well, unless you're Tom Dagnino, because then everyone's a loser.
Or the Patriots. I don't like them.
Would it be fun? There we go.
But I have them up too, so.
It's all cool, it's all cool, it's all cool. And Matt is completely right. We all have attachments to players, and we love to see them succeed, and their successes overshadow even the most hilarious moments in the show, because when they're happy, we're happy.
Good way to put it, Clark.
Yep, exactly. Good way to word it.
That's an amazing way to put it.
Yeah, exactly. So guys, with that, we are going to close up shop for today. I would like to thank my 4 other guests who decided to go down and make this movie kind of make this show. Well, it's not a movie. It feels like a movie because we're all so happy to be involved. Anyway, guys, this is basically the letterbox version of Take 3 right now. But here we go. Abe, where can the good people find you online?
You guys can find me on Twitter at AbrahamF25 and follow me on Letterboxd at Abraham Flores 25, and my Schmoedown account called Schmoedown Center. You can follow me there.
Oh, yeah.
And also, I think we are gonna kill our moms because we scared them a lot with a lot.
Oh my god!
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
True. Happy Mother's Day. It's early, but happy Mother's Day.
Yep, Mother's Day.
Always,
Happy Mother's Day.
Always
Couple
keep your
months
mothers in your heart. Manning, where can
Especially when watching.
Manning, where can the good people find you online?
You can find me on Twitter at Cine_man, that's CINE_MANN, as well as various Take 3 production aspects that you will find surrounding the internet.
Cool, awesome. What do you call it when Manning is sitting on a slice of bread? A cinnamon roll. No, that was
Guy
bad.
Clark.
That was terrible. Anyway, I like to make these kind of jokes. Yeah.
No, really?
That was good. That was actually good.
That was,
I liked it. I liked it.
yeah, it was good.
That was, yeah, good in quotation marks. Matt, where can the good people find you online, dear sir?
You guys, as always, can find me at currents_Matthew, Twitter, MattMovie611, YouTube, and host of, I now got 2 shows. I am host of the Movie Fandom Show on Take 3, but also during the live show breaks, I'm also the host of the Kurt Russell fan podcast, Rustlin' on Russell. Yes, I broke everybody. This is now a thing.
Apparently.
And it's always great when Matt is the intermission because everybody can just get up and pee while he's talking. It's the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, everyone got bored of doing it during the live show when we talk.
Oh, I'm sad inside. Heartbreaking and total. Anyway, Chris Doman, where can the good people find you online?
You guys can find me on Twitter at my band Last Shot Redemption at LSARBandMN. You guys can follow Take 3 Productions on Twitter and Instagram at Take 3 Trivia. You guys can follow our sister channel, the Worldwide Movie Games Network, on YouTube. You also find them on Twitter at WWMGN Take 3. And you can follow me on Letterboxd and Stardust at Chris Take 3. And of course, you can also find me right here hosting Nights of the Podcast.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I'm Chris Clark. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at ChrisClark8788. Those numbers mean nothing. You can also find me here on Take 3 hosting Suddenly Soundtracks. We dissect a movie musical song by song and judge a movie solely based on the soundtrack that it provides. You can also find me on YouTube at No Man's Land Entertainment and hosting here on Take 3 family game nights on either Fridays or Saturday nights whenever we decide because it's a complete and utter disaster, and hamburgers fall from the sky. And be sure, this Saturday at 7 p.m. EST, we will be doing our fan movie trivia Schmoedown Fantasy League draft as brought to you by and in association with the Fan Movie Trivia Schmoedown League. Those guys are amazing and we are just going to have so much fun on Saturday, so make sure you are there. But anyway, guys, make sure to follow Take 3, as Chris said, at Take 3 Productions, at Take 3 Trivia. And you can also check out our website at www.take3.com. So guys, take care and keep rocking.